Welcome to Band Scamps, an in-depth look at albums and releases by West Michigan artists. Hosted by Dan Fisher and Julio Gomez. This week on Band Scamps, Dan and Julio review singles by Birdie Country, Jake Simmons, Silent Spirit, and WOOTS.
Hello, Wisconsin.
Yeah. How are you? What's going on?
Good. Internet. This is Band Scamps episode 13, and I have a feeling we're being watched right now.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like there's things all around me.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am great, I think. This is crazy.
It feels real now, huh?
Yeah, this is so real.
Yeah. We are here at Fancy Recording Studio.
Wow.
And we are live. We're on camera 3 right now.
We're live and we're in person.
Yep. I think we're recording. I think everything's recording, and this is for real this time.
There's so many like new things happening in this moment right now.
I know.
We're like in person, in the studio, live, with new microphones, and we're filming this.
Yeah, it's a totally new thing. I'm over here line producing. We got camera 1. We got camera 2. We got camera 3. We got camera 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, camera tray.
Yeah.
Producers. We need a producer, guys.
We need a producer.
So bad.
Listener, this is Band Scamps episode
13.
This is serious this time.
Yeah. This is like Sirius XM radio.
I can't believe it. Do you think that Sirius XM would ever want us to do a show?
Absolutely not.
They would. They don't. They have too many
Absolutely
shows.
Not.
They're actually like looking for other people to produce their shows.
Exactly.
We got some new mics. We're using the new podcasting.
Yeah.
Sure.
We did our first unboxing video. Maybe you saw that a couple weeks ago.
This is a fun thing. We're together. We're vaxxed. This is our first in-person thing since we've done this starting about 4 months ago.
And we're doing it live. We're figuring it out as we go, and I don't know. I think we're doing a pretty good job. I think
so too. Thank you for all the scamps out there supporting us to get us this far. This has been really motivating to get to this moment for me personally.
Same.
You know, like I've been hoping that we can do this kind of in-person stuff, and now we got vaccinated. I encourage you to do that. As always, be safe. But, you know, they want us to get together, I think, now. I don't know, like, if that matters. But.
Right. I don't know what the process is for, like, herd immunity and all that. So I was getting really salty thinking about herd immunity the other day because there's going to be some people who are just going to benefit from that. And they just, you know, and they didn't even care. And you're just like.
They never cared.
No, they never so cared. Mad.
I feel like I have family members, like, that are like, yes, like get vaccinated. It's like you were being not careful at all in the slightest this whole time. You know?
Anyway,
that's a trip trying to switch. I got a computer over here. Everybody, we have 3 cameras. We got these new mics. This is a new show.
This feels like so live. Like
it does.
It feels like I feel so vulnerable right now.
Yeah, we could actually just after this do a real quick broadcast. We have to put the interface. We'll just put the interface in here, but that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But this is a crazy thing. We got 3 webcams hooked up. We're going through Pro Tools. We got angles, we got drinks, we got microphones.
Yeah, we got some tasty drinks here. We're drinking something by Native Species. This is how do you even pronounce it? I bought this without even looking at what this was. Marjan and Triminette.
And it's frankly delicious.
This is an aged in neutral charred oak from 2018, which is awesome. They've been working on this thing for a while
so now. This is an oldie.
Does that sound too hot? I think it sounds like kind of warm and nice.
I kind of like it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this is produced and bottled by Speciation Artisan Ales, and it's some of their new line. And we just wanted to talk about that because we are drinking that tonight.
We're drinking that tonight from our own glass. You know, because we also used to share one glass.
Yeah,
pre-COVID.
We no longer do. We no longer do the share the glass.
Yeah,
thing.
We've had to change a lot for our lifestyle. I do miss it, but it's okay.
Yeah, I kind of miss it too. I think we can be sanitary and safe. But I want to give a big shout out to Speciation. This is one of our favorite spots. They're down. They open a new spot down in Wealthy, and that's where I picked these up. I haven't been doing in person like dining stuff, but they got a really, really cute patio. It's really open. So really for that kind of experience, it seems like decently safe. So go see them. This wine is excellent.
Yeah, look them up online because their front of their building is kind of hidden because it's kind of behind the building, so you can't really see it from the road.
I love talking about beverage. So
Me too.
I'm excited to do more of this kind of stuff.
Oops,
Hopefully in the future.
dropped my phone here.
Oh, that's okay. Go ahead and grab it.
I'll switch it up here.
This is a exciting episode. We are doing again an episode of really short releases.
Singles night.
Singles night, baby. Man, I'm liking how this new mic sounds. I feel like I can even push it more and turn my headphones
I wonder
down.
if
I'm not
there's
even
like
sure.
that internal compression or whatever that we were
there
reading
might
about.
be.
Yeah.
There might be some stuff going on with these listeners. If you know at all about this, we've had a really long day setting up this for you. Do you want to just like jump right into the show?
Let's just jump right into it. We can do some housekeeping after our first break.
Yeah, totally. Listener, this is going to be a really special episode, and we are going to be doing short releases and singles, basically.
So
really short releases.
Yeah, we do not. Again, this is all submission based, and we do not discriminate on any kind of release form.
No, so I think that it's really good that we did that because we are now open to any type of release, and music does come in a lot of forms. You don't just have to do a full length album. I've never done a full length.
No. And, I feel like some of the old guys, they're just like, it's the album is dead. And, I don't think it's dead, but I think like putting out, there's a certain point where you just have to put out content and you have to put out your music.
Sure.
And if you keep on waiting for to make your perfect album, you're just never going to get there. So if putting out singles is the way to go for you, just to get it out there, then put it out there and give it to us so we can talk about it.
I think that is an awesome plan, especially because like I know so many artists that have this like perfect album in mind mentality. You know what I mean? Like they're like, I'm going to get this exact replication of what I do, and it's going to be this long like 14, 15 track thing, and you don't have to do that.
No, you really don't. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Who do we think we should go first? Should we go in?
I just went. I didn't even think about there being an order. I kind of just went in what order we had on the spreadsheet.
Let's just do that then.
So,
okay,
what's up first?
This first
surprise
one
me.
is by a band called Birdie Country.
Okay,
and they released a 2-song single, and the first song is called 010, and the second one is called In My Head.
Okay, great.
And this came out on April 22 of this year, so very recent.
This is super new. When did we get this submitted to us?
We got this submitted probably around early April, maybe late March.
Okay. Yeah, I did not look. I'm gonna say a full disclosure moment here. I didn't look at any liner notes for these releases.
There's not much, so I did do some liner note.
Okay, that's good.
So
you're gonna be the library, the secretariat librarian again.
Secretary of Defense here, Dan Fisher.
Yep. You want to kick it off? First,
Yeah.
First impressions?
Yeah. Birdie Country, first song, 010. First impressions, I had to really figure out what the name of the song was, because when they submitted it to us, I was like, is this a typo?
Oh, really?
And then I was like, maybe this is like a weird like emoticon that I don't know. But then I listened to the lyrics.
That's pretty funny.
But okay, that's not fair. First impression, music though.
But your first impression was a typo. So
my first impression was the actual reading of the title.
Is this a typo?
But let's do this band right. So first impression musically, I was like, this is folky, but it's like emo.
Yeah, I think there's a strong emo thing. I think right away I have here, emo, clean, indie, clear, nice vibe.
Yeah, it's got that real kind of like 2003 to 2006 indie vibe. Kind of that like twee feel, but like right when like Bright Eyes was getting into kind of folk is like this kind, and everyone kind of like joined in a little bit.
I think you're right. I don't have any notes about folk specifically, but there's definitely, this is a folk record.
Yeah,
hands down.
And it's not just because there's like acoustic guitar, but it's just kind of the vibe and it's like Americana more.
Yeah. So right away, this is definitely well within the pop realm of things.
Yeah. But the beat is like a dance kind of beat.
Yeah.
Which is like really interesting.
Yeah, I did get kind of a dance vibe.
Yeah. I don't think I was like ready for that because Birdie country sounds like Americana and like country. And so so I was like, oh yeah, like they're folky kind of thing. And this dance beat comes in, I was like, hold on.
It's weird how dance music has kind of like been like kind of like parsed out just to a certain genres of music, that and it might not just be a style thing, because I think back in the day they would dance to like rock music at dances and stuff too.
Sure.
So but nowadays you think dance music, you think more electronic, you think maybe
pop
rap music. Yeah, totally.
And that's where I think we have to open our minds and be like, oh, okay, this is like folky, emo, but there are pop elements too. And even like kind of like the vocal rhythm is like kind of poppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the vibe here.
Me too.
Right off the bat.
It's also recorded like pretty well.
Yeah.
Like it sounds nice.
It does. I think I do have a note here that says I think this sounded a little bit rough.
I think, where was it? So the thing that I was really feeling was there was no low end. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I have here that I don't really am crazy. I'm not really crazy about the kick here. Like something about the kick drum was like kind of like thuddy, like in a way where it needed to have just like a really, really nice kick. I've been thinking about kick drums a lot, man, because you do stuff with programmed drums.
Yeah.
Like you probably put a lot. I can't imagine the amount of work you put into that stuff. Like when I do drums, I kind of record them and I'm like, that's just the drums. You know? But when you have like these kind of sound more electronic, maybe sometimes too, or like there was those kind of options or not. But I feel like something about that kick,
Yeah, I mean,
like what do you like? I know that's like a notorious music production issue is the kick drum.
So I usually I have a sample based drum machine, so there's samples from either like live drums or vintage drum machines, and it doesn't stop there because on the drum machine I can EQ and stuff and filter, and then when I put it into Ableton, then I do even more EQing. So and I record each drum separately too. So I don't, when I make a drum beat on the machine, I actually record each individual drum separately and have to line them up just so I can have like full control over the sound and mixing. But it's hard. Yeah. I mean, right behind snares to get them sound good is kicks.
Yep. You're probably right.
Yeah.
And then cymbals just kind of eat into everything.
Yeah.
And I think later on this episode, I got a whole cymbals rant. So there's a preview for anyone.
Ooh, spoiler alert.
Yep. Spoiler alert. Cymbals.
Uh-oh. I love that Fred Armisen bit where in like the like comedy for drummers or whatever, stand up for drummers, and he's like talking about like when drummers are buying cymbals, the only adjective they use is dark.
Yeah, they do. They're like, there is other things for it. Like,
yeah,
it's
dark. Like, it's really dark.
Man, I think about that guy's like comedy about like music so much. It's really wild.
It's so on. He's so good at it.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so this track is pretty varied, and like the songwriting in it, it's like almost rap.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for saying that. I was going to bring that up. It's like rap, right?
This is something that came up. I've been seeing people like be like, "What is emo rap?" Like? Okay, so listener, like, there's a genre that has been emerging for a very long time of emo rap, but rap's been a part of emo for a long time. I feel like emo bands, like even ironically, had a kind of like embraced like rap or hip hop or whatever.
Well, I think like the whole like rap core thing like really like kind of brought it into like mainstream and like maybe invited the emo crowds to do it more.
Yeah, I never really thought about that because like rapcore is like a post-punk like genre, and it goes back from like the mid 80s. Even like hardcore dudes were like doing that kind of stuff too.
I'm like, I think people like rip on this band, but like I think about like Linkin Park, and like they were actually like pretty ahead of their time in a lot of ways, and they were like pretty revolutionary to music.
Yeah, I mean they were just a continuation of it, but they did help make that. They made that stuff more mainstream without it being like. I feel like Korn and Limp Bizkit were really rough around the edges.
Yeah, I feel like they were the ones that really were able to kind of like successfully find like the balance though, because they had the backing of like the Executioners and stuff, and then they also did like that collaborative album with Jay-Z.
Yeah, you're 100%
That's
right.
like that's pretty huge.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but they're just a band I wasn't into, so that's just my bias showing through. Is like I don't give a shit about.
I think it was like a little bit after your time. Like I think you were like a little too old to like by that time you were probably onto something else.
I was like too old to appreciate any new metal for anything more than what I saw it as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But didn't you get down with like? Did you ever get down with like Static X or any of that stuff?
No, not really. No. I was already aware of like Rage. You know, I feel like Rage was already like I was like, well, they're just doing the Rage Against the Machine thing bad. But anyway, I never thought about that like the metalcore, rapcore, emo connection. It totally exists. And so what we've been seeing in emo for a long time, we're now starting to see in rap, where it's like going the other way around, where the rap is embracing the emo. The emo has always embraced rap. Yeah, and that's kind of what this is.
It really is, like, especially towards the end. I think he gets like a little more energized too with like the vocal delivery. Yeah, and by the end, I was like, I think he was rapping.
Yeah, it is rap. These are kind of rap lyrics. Nice production on here overall too. You know, I really thought there was actually some really, really solid production.
Just not that kick.
Yeah, maybe.
I really just couldn't hear any bass at all.
Yeah,
I was like nothing in like the 300 hertz or lower kind of.
Yeah,
I was like, where is that? But yeah, I think I thought about the rap thing. I kept on like thinking about like all like Saddle Creek bands. It seems like a band that would be on Saddle Creek.
The vocals to me were like kind of cool. Like that was like a standout part of this track, I think.
Yeah, I think at first it was like abrasive because I was thinking Americana country, but then like as it went on, like I was just like really, I was so drawn to them even though they were like abrasive in a way. I don't know. It was cool. Yeah, it was different. It also kind of reminded me of like Modest Mouse a little bit in like that vocal delivery, because I think
totally see that.
Yeah, because I think people have also like thought of Modest Mouse as like his delivery almost like rap too, because it's kind of fast. But I think this
he does that kind of rapping thing.
And even like that song on Lonesome Crowded West, like Heart Cook's Brains, they have like that like vinyl scratching in it, which is really funny.
You know, like talk singing has been a thing in music forever, and like in punk, which emo comes from, right, in the big family tree of thing, and then in hip hop, those are two genres that started at the exact same time. Yeah, you know, and so of course that style of vocalization is gonna be popular. So overall, this song I think is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I actually dig it. Cool vocals, nice production on here. Actually, just a little rough on the edges.
Exactly.
Maybe too many pieces sonically.
It's a lot, you know. But I have a note about that for the next song. Okay. So I think they are a little more successful with that. Yeah. In the next song,
there's a lot of textures and there's a good chorus build, which is something that I like to see. I like to see songs that kind of pick up a little bit in the chorus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was able, and like also shout out to this band for having loud enough vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, I said nice to see the vocals up on this one. So bingo players, if you're waiting on that one for your bingo, not yet.
Not yet.
This is gonna be a kind of a doozy of an episode.
This is
a doozy.
Here. I mean, I was thinking kind of like lightning round, but like I think we have a lot to talk. I think we're kind of coming out of the Unscampy Valley already.
You know, and like there's been a lot of activity on our Discord that I've been thinking about lately, and like it's cool to see that there's expectation of us that's going kind of beyond just we can talk about this and I like it here, and maybe there's more demand. One thing I've noticed is like for objectivity or subjectivity. I can't tell, you know. Yeah. But maybe there is a demand to see like what is this good or not, you know. Right. Like, is there demand for us to be deciding that for people?
No, I don't know. I think what people want is they want like a pitchfork situation where they want a rating and then they want to have an opinion about it and say they want to prove us wrong.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Well, I think we are doing a lot of like fence straddling, where it's like one of us likes it, one of us doesn't, and you can't really say anything about it. You know, it's not the worst situation to have.
I think we've been pretty clear that like this is everything that we say is like 100% biased.
Yeah.
And like that's just like the nature of music and reviewing things. And
there is like, there's this philosopher that one of our patrons wanted us to check out. And his big assertion is that like you would need to be free of prejudice to be a good critic, and I think that's impossible.
I think that's impossible.
And we're not even striving for that.
Yeah. I actually heard a really interesting story, or not even story, but like a trend with, I think the French tried to start it with music. They're saying like, in order to like truly appreciate music, like we can't like watch it be performed. We have to like listen. It has to be a totally sonic experience. So they would actually put so they would have concerts, but they wouldn't have players on the stage. They would literally just put loudspeakers on the stage and just play the music.
Like that, the performance was just you listening to the music?
Exactly. Obviously, it didn't get very far, and like I think that proves the point that like the music is just, it requires a lot of context, and like it's unfair to really take away some of that context.
I think that there's so much context, and I think maybe there has been attempts with criticism over the time to define what is criticism. You know what I mean? And I think maybe at this point, when commentary is such a big idea of creative work, that it's like, you can actually do creative work that is just commentary.
Yeah.
And as we think of new and more creative ways to do it, we're just going to be talking about things in different ways. As we approach the end of this first song, and since we're doing singles, I think that maybe we can evaluate if we think this is good or not, or we cannot do it and just keep doing it how we were doing it.
I remember what I was trying to say. I wanted to like talk about like definition of criticism, and I think that like the way that we're approaching criticism is that we're not trying to necessarily like tell you how to make it better or say what's wrong with it, but it's more like analytical and more just there's just like curiosity almost. It's really kind of like almost playful in a way.
I love that. I think that's a really good way of putting what we're doing. We're just trying to figure out what it is to do this. You know what I mean? But I want to say we welcome all criticism.
Absolutely.
Anything you got, we'll take it on. But I'm going to tell you, this camera right here that's pointing at me, that if you are going to come at us, we're going to come back too, because we're going to defend ourselves.
Also, because it's on tape. Like we are recording this right now.
We're live. Yeah. I was like, people were, I was trying to respond to criticism by, you don't do this, you don't do this. It's like, there's like 40 hours of us talking about local music. So we do a bunch of shit. So as we approach the end of this song, I think overall, I kind of like it. I kind of like what's going on here.
Yeah.
So the next song.
In My Head.
Okay.
It's more of like that emo folk. And I'm down with it. Like it's cool.
It really is. More kind of like easygoing. Kind of making their own sound here.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know, I didn't bother looking, what release of this is this their first release, or is this
is not.
Okay.
I think they've had a couple other like small releases like this.
Okay.
I did go to their Facebook page. Looks like they're a fairly young band, like a lot of probably college students or like recently graduated.
Okay, interesting.
And I can kind of hear that too.
Yeah, I think so too. The vocals sound like really confident though, Yeah. I really think there's a lot of nice confidence in here.
Absolutely.
The guitar, I think, is classy.
I love, like, this is where I thought they did a good job of, like, managing the guitars, because they were, like, hard panned left and right.
Okay.
And then acoustic in the center. And I was like, this is hard. That 3 guitars is, like, hard to do.
I didn't notice 3. I definitely noticed 2 guitars. I love the way an acoustic guitar sounds with electric guitar. That's, like, one of my favorite sounds in the world.
It's
like,
great.
Seriously.
Yeah, so there was an acoustic guitar in the center, and then there was, like, solo on the left, and then solo on the right.
Yeah, super, super good. This wine's tasty.
It's so good.
It's kind of tart.
It's
kind of a tart wine. Sours are hot.
Sours are hot.
Sours are very hot. They were hot, at least last year.
They've been hot for me for a few years now. Yeah, well, in that speciation, they sell like the Underbergs, which are like that, like a digestive, like
to balance it out.
So yeah, you have a couple of drinks there, and then you can buy an Underberg and just like take that to like.
I never thought about that.
It's super nice
because that tartness is not for everybody, but I think for people that appreciate like some good flavor, this stuff is really nice. I'm really enjoying this.
I think like the more tart, the more funk you get, and I'm all about that funk.
Funky.
Listeners, tell us how these mics sound. Do these sound good to you? I think they sound great.
They do sound good. I'm trying to get a balance between me and you. You
Yeah.
actually sound really nice and like in my ear. I think these are
Yeah.
sounding awesome on your voice.
Yeah, these are specifically made for podcasting and maybe made for my Midwest accent.
Yeah, I think they're nice. And it's actually not giving, I have a really bassy voice and it's
Mhm.
not giving me too hard of a scoop here.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. So this track.
Okay, so with this, I kind of had the same like experience with like Types and Paul, like where I was like, this is like really marketable.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like this could be on a TV show or something.
Yeah, I think so too. There was some like kind of cinematic. I was even thinking of like the OC or like Laguna Beach or something.
I was gonna say that.
Really?
Yes, I was gonna say this would be like an OC mixtape.
Yeah. It reminded me of like MTV, like
Mhm.
early 2000s MTV, or like I don't even know, like the OC.
Yeah, the OC.
That was like a Fox show, wasn't it, or something?
It was. Man, how old were you when like the OC like premiered?
I was in college. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like in like high school, and
Yeah.
I was like right in that vulnerable stage of like
Yeah.
OC and the old Garden State and all that kind of stuff.
It was your shit.
And it changed me.
Garden State. I got that green screen. I was
Yeah.
like thinking we should do more like recreations of movies, but it's just
Yeah.
me and you doing them.
Oh
the whole
my
We'll just do
gosh.
all of Garden State.
I wish we knew how to do like deep fakes and stuff.
I think we get Wicker Baskets on it.
Yes.
Jeremy is on some VR stuff. I'll be like, you have to go to deep fakes.
I found a whole TikTok and it's just of a deep fake Tom Cruise and it's like trippy.
Oh man,
It was like disturbing.
it's scary. Yeah, I do have written right here cinematic.
Cinematic and like marketable. I think it's like different, but it's also accessible at the same time.
Oh, Smallville.
Small.
That's the other soundtrack of the sound. The Soundville. It's the Soundville soundtrack. What
so
else do I
good.
have here? Yeah, nice ending.
Yeah. Oh, this could be on Scrubs.
Yeah. I have here. This song could have been longer.
Interesting. I thought I was pretty good by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have it. The ending could have been a little bit longer.
Wow. I think that's a band scamps first.
I know. Wait, that's like a super bingo card.
You're
That's
kind of you're kind of messing me up right now with that.
man, it's been a trip here.
It's been a trip.
Okay. There's not a very short release. Listener,
Yeah.
this is like a nice kind of emo poppy indie song. The lyrical content is real straightforward there. I did all these shotguns, so like off the top of my head, I can't even tell you what these lyrics were about, but I know
Yeah.
that this is something that I would listen to again.
I was vibing with it, and I would say this is like a band to pay attention to. Like these are like young kids, I think, that are making like pretty cool stuff.
I like wrote in my notes, I'm going to listen to this again. So I wonder too, like how much of that like clouds like how much you pay attention to, like as you like when I'm doing this,
Mhm.
if I know I'm going to listen to it again, like do I pay attention to it a little bit less?
That's a good question. I don't think I've really like thought of that because I don't know. I guess like I feel like my music listening patterns are really weird.
Yeah, mine have really, really, really increased since we started doing this show, but it's all been like, devoted to local music and what
Yeah.
we're covering. But I do
Same.
listen differently now.
I do.
I don't want to be critical about everything, but it's hard. It starts like,
Yeah, this show for your entertainment has ruined my life
yeah,
in a certain way.
yeah,
So I hope you're happy.
yeah. This is good though. I think
Yeah.
I think nice little release. This Birdie Country, check it out. Overall, nice little short thing.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more.
Yeah.
And so, and nice job on that.
Exactly, and I think I saw that they've played the Pyramid Scheme before, so I'm like I'd never heard of this band before, and I feel like I'm like pretty on the radar
Did
usually.
they? Yeah, I didn't know them. I don't think.
So
Cool.
I think that just means I'm an old guy now.
Nice job, y'all. Check it out. It's
Yeah.
on Bandcamp.
Ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it.
This one is just one song, and this is kind of by a Kazoo, like long-term Kazoo music member. This is by Jake Simmons.
From Kalamazoo.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. I've heard this name before.
yeah,
This is obviously someone who's been in the scene a bit.
yeah. So this
And
is
it's one song,
yeah,
right?
and it's called My American Dream. And like he usually plays with a band like Jake Simmons and the Little Ghosts, and I think this one is actually just him, even though there are multiple instruments on it. I think this is like specifically just by him.
Okay. You think he did everything on it?
I'm not sure if he did everything on it, but I think like it's still.
Oh, you mean in the naming
Yeah.
process? It's not a Jake Simmons and Little Ghost. It's just
Right.
Jake Simmons.
I think so.
Man, what's in a name? You know,
I know.
that'll just drive people up the wall
Yeah.
trying to figure out names.
We played with him at Creston with Twin Flame and the Quirk.
I'm not sure we played that show.
Oh no, that was with
might have been a
Blanca
different-
Luz.
That was a different
Sorry.
different band you played with.
Wow.
Well, that's good that it wasn't, because I
Yeah.
would be like, I don't remember that happening.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
So you know this.
I know this band.
You know the genre and stuff
Yeah,
off the bat.
I knew kind of what I was getting into. This came out also October 30 of 2020.
Okay. All right.
You
You want to go ahead and lead it off?
First impression, I was like, all right, this is gonna be a political song.
Yeah, I can tell right away this was political.
Yeah.
I try to like really reserve judgment of everything else because the lyrics were so very clear that I think it was like, okay, I know what's going on here. And it was, overtly political and kind of like contemporary.
And that makes sense considering it came out in 2020, and I think we were all expecting, some political releases for such a strange year.
Yeah, I think that we were too. And right off the bat, episode 1, there's a political record we do right away.
Exactly.
One thing that has been coming up in our Discord, or came up in our Discord, is like, how relevant is the pandemic to the music right now? Like, is that like extra points, in our review, or is it like something that maybe is necessary for music releases? Like,
I think we just kind of started out with 2020 music because it was such an overlooked year for music, and that was just a good way to kind of, get our foot in the door.
yeah.
I don't think it's necessary extra points. I think it's just like something that we should know because it's because context.
Right. No, I mean more like when we talk about like so 2020 was a political year, and that are we like maybe like giving extra points to content that is more political in nature or that addresses more of the contemporary themes? Maybe,
but it's also it's just submission based. So
right.
It's not like we're like seeking out political
Right.
music. It's like we receive political music.
Yeah, I can see that. So this off the bat, I have on here, like, my first note is about the vocals. I'm not super, super crazy about the vocals here.
I'm just, like I'm hearing it and it's like, all right, this is just like, another kind of like hold steady anthem kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. And that's a band that I'm actually not super, super crazy about myself. I also I like the way he sings to a certain extent. And there's parts of it, like, especially as we kind of flash forward, I'm going to go kind of fast forward to the bridge. It kind of goes to like this thicker part where I like his voice more, and it makes me wonder. I'm like, okay, I don't dislike his voice. I maybe just don't like the way it's recorded and how it's presented in the scenario.
I have a note about that, and maybe we can get to that later. But about just kind of like the energy of the whole song.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
Okay, I guess I'll just go right to it.
Yeah, you may as well.
I thought that like it's hard to describe. I thought like the recording didn't capture the energy of the song at all. I thought it was just kind of like the same kind of energy throughout the whole song, and there didn't feel like any kind of like heart in the song. I didn't feel like, I knew like lyrically it was passion, but I feel like the delivery and maybe just like kind of like the sonicness qualities of the recording,
Sure.
it felt a little stale to me.
Okay.
It's a really kind of like describable kind of feeling. So this is the best I can get with.
Did it feel like distant to you?
No, it just felt kind of just like, here's a political song, with kind of some political tropes, but it was almost like too clean. There's, I feel like when you hear an anthem, you just kind of like, there's just like some kind of feeling, and it felt like they just got the best take of each time, and then they put together all of the best takes, and it's like this really polished kind of anthem. But like last year, and like the stuff that they're talking about isn't a polished topic,
No. Yeah, I can see what you're saying now when I'm thinking about it. Like, it seems like maybe like too premeditated, like where it maybe would come off as like, okay, this is gonna be like a statement thing, but maybe it's too thought out. It's very on the nose, and we kind of we had issues and like criticisms. We've had criticisms of that kind of stuff with other stuff too, with other releases.
Exactly. And like even like dynamically, I feel like everything is just like compressed like so concisely. So there's no like really quiet to loud. It's just kind of like, oh, you just know it's louder because there's more instruments happening here.
It's very thick.
Yeah.
Like I noticed like that when I first came on, when everything kicked in, it was like ooh, like really low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of like a dense sound a little bit.
Do you have album credits on this one? Did you happen to check it out?
It's just no, I don't, because it's only on Spotify. It's not on Bandcamp.
Oh.
So
that's interesting. That having the credits first on that's an upside.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major upside. Okay. So I do like the instruments in here. I do feel nitpicky about it though.
Me too.
I like parts of it, but I feel really like I want to be nitpicky about it. And I don't know if that's like.
I think it's because they kind of have like, some like punk influences.
Yeah, like maybe because we know it has a punk side to it.
Yeah, and like they kind of like run within like the punk DIY crowd a little bit.
That's where I feel like I would know their name is from that, know.
So, I don't know. There is my favorite thing about the song is that, like there's this one chord that kind of happens like right before the little chorus guitar line thing.
Yeah,
and it's like a really like suspended chord. And I love that. I was like, it's like, I don't know. It's just every time it would happen, I was like, yes.
The guitar solo is really nice on here too. There's a nice little guitar solo. I liked it.
I thought it was boring, honestly.
Okay.
I thought it was like kind of lackluster.
Okay.
Like I don't think there was any like bends in it. I think it was just like a line. Like I feel like, for like a expressive solo, they kind of have to sing, and there should be like some like microtonal like bends and stuff and vibratos, and it felt more just kind of like pop punk, like
yeah. I liked it. I don't know. Some of the recording here, the definition of the instruments is okay. There's open hi-hat.
Yeah,
I have such a hard time with open hi-hat.
I think hi-hat's right below kick drum and making them sound good.
So we got snare. Then we got kick drum, and we got hi-hat.
Yeah.
That all makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, hi-hats are. I mean, most hi-hats sound like absolute trash.
Yeah, you're right. They sound terrible. I'm over here trying to view a switch at the same time. Just I'm multitasking AF. No one's gonna know.
No one's gonna see this, so it's okay.
Oh yeah. I do feel nitpicky, and I also like feel like. Trying to think of how to say this.
I wonder if this is a Rick Johnson moment where they're like, oh, the hi-hats were broken in this recording.
Those open hi-hats like eat guitars, they eat the vocals.
Yeah.
And I start noticing the flaw of how terrible of an instrument the hi-hat is. What are we doing here? It's just like two sheets of metal just like flopping together, Like I don't really trust it. Yeah, I don't trust it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Why don't we have one blank scene? Get out of here.
That's all right. Every time that'll happen, it'll just say "oops."
Yeah, it should like beak in my ear,
or just like a monocle, quick shot of the monocle.
So
emoji.
This is a short release. I think they wanted probably to get something out in 2020, and it is like thematically it's on theme, right?
But like I feel like it always was like leading up to a big thing, and it just like never really got there. Especially with the ending, I was like, it felt so lackluster to me. And maybe that's kind of the point, because 2020 was a very dark and depressing year, and so they end on kind of like a somber kind of like moment or whatever. But like, I really just kind of wanted him to like really get the feeling of him belting. I think he was like belting in the song, but I didn't feel that in the recording.
It's like that. It sounds like that kind of like trying to sing good singing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, because I tried doing it, and I'm not good at that kind of singing where my voice sounds good.
Yeah.
So now I just kind of like sing as loud as I can and hope I hit the keys right.
Yeah.
And like, there's like a delay on the vocals too. There's like
there's that slap back.
It's like, I think it's too long. I think it's like too long of a delay, and maybe that's what I like. And I do right there. I'm like, I do say the vocals 3 times, and I'm not sure what I feel about these vocals. And I think that potentially it's just how they recorded them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm curious to see what else they do.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to go for that like kind of tin can, coffee can kind of thing.
Kind of, but it has like this weird like slapbacky kind of Elvis-y vibe to it. But I think it's just too long.
Yeah. I think maybe just the EQ is a little. Maybe there's not enough low mids or something. I don't know.
There's so many different things that it could be, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just I think my biggest takeaway is that like it was just like the energy just wasn't getting there for me.
Okay.
All right, so this is another short release by a band called Silent Spirits, and the song is called Intentions. And this one came out on March 19 of this year, so another really recent release.
Wow, that's awesome. I like these new ones too. It's interesting that people just keep putting out the records.
I'm trying. I mean, they're trying. I'm trying as an independent
I love it.
musician. So
the apocalypse is not going to stop bands.
It was actually. I'm gonna go off on a little like inspirational kind of thing here about my music, but like I was kind of going through a rut in 2019 and 2020. I was kind of feeling like I wanted to like try to write music again, and then the pandemic hit, and then I felt like inspired crazy, and it was a really exciting because I was like, oh, even though I can't play live music, like my body is saying like you have to make music.
Yeah, you felt the need to like creative push and drive to make something.
Yeah, and I was like, that's just like really just it made me feel really good because it meant that I wasn't burnt out. It meant that I wasn't like losing my passion.
Yeah, I get worried about that too. It's kind of a fear of like, oh, what if I don't have anything more in me? But we're always going to have more stuff. Pour me some more of that speciation.
Pour some sugar on you.
Pour that delicious wine.
Some coconut sugar on you.
This has got a nice bubbly to it.
It's so.
If you like even Prosecco, it almost if you like aren't familiar or like maybe a little bit worried about natural wines and don't know what to jump in, this is very, very, very good. Let me get a good glamour shot.
Like this isn't like carbonation. This is fermentation.
Yeah. This is very, very good. It's almost got a cider vibe to it. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Very good.
All right. So Silent Spirit, I've heard of this name before, but I've never heard their music.
I have heard them, and I actually had them booked at Harmony last year.
Okay, cool.
They were one of the canceled shows.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was going to be How to Live Together and Silent Spirit.
That would have been a really great show.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Really yep. So, full disclosure, I'm aware of this band's music. I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm not. That's not to say. I'm not like I celebrate their catalog.
Yeah, you're not
on an intimate basis.
Yeah, you're not like a synth head.
Like when I say I'm not a fan, I feel like saying like I'm not a fan is like a rude, snarky thing to say. You know?
Right. I think it's just not in your. Yeah, there's no like.
What color you want here? Pick a color. Go ahead and you got to point it right at it though. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's sexy. Okay, so. This is like synth music here. Yep. First impressions of Intentions. Let me find my notes here.
Yeah, from the get-go, I have a note on the artwork.
Yes.
This is the first album art that really like caught my eye on this. It's really cool.
Nice. Let me pull it up here so we can just shout out the artist's name here.
Yeah. So it's an illustration here. It's like a white on black illustration, kind of like a collage-y, illustrative. I don't know. It reminds me of like mashup Shel Silverstein mixed with like, I don't know, like some kind of like Keith Haring-y kind of. I don't know.
It's
very,
like
very cool.
It looks kind of like a cool like chalk art in a way.
Yeah.
You know, but art by Madison Schaefer or Schaefer.
Awesome.
So Madison, really great job on this. I really love this.
Really, really nice. I think we both like that a lot. Really cool. So right away, I can tell this is dance music.
Yep.
It's electronic dance music.
Yeah.
You mentioned synths.
Yeah.
I don't know if I get that off the bat, but I definitely get a lot of synthy texture, you know,
there's like
electronic texture.
Yeah, it's all ambient pads and stuff.
I have written here, I want to make Dan describe the genre.
Okay. I would say this is like probably more like that like down tempo kind of chill.
You know,
kind of thing. Yeah,
I think it does. Okay, so I love that you said like 5 different things that is kind of on there and kind of isn't. So I do think that this has a little bit. You mentioned like a down tempo and chill. I think it has like an after hours house vibe.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I don't even know what that is.
it feels like almost like lounge house. It also has like a deep house vibe to me. That's why I wrote I want to make Dan.
Yeah.
I want to make Dan describe.
There is
this.
like house elements to it because
Yeah.
it has the 4 on the floor.
Yeah. I didn't say that like in a friendly way. I want to. I want to make you.
I knew you were
describe
gonna ask me about that, and so I actually wrote down like down tempo house beats.
Okay. Yeah, it is a little more down tempo.
Yeah.
I have written deep house, almost after hours. There's a snare, so maybe it's like tech house, a little bit electro. You know?
Yeah.
This is more on the raver side of things than music we've had.
Okay, interesting. I'm not like familiar with rave music at all, so.
Well, I mean, like as like a culture, like rave
Okay.
culture, like dance music. This is like a really long, extended electronic music track, you know, and it has a lot of the same kind of hallmarks of these kind of songs. I can see it like slotted in a DJ set, you know, like it is of that kind of music where it's specifically electronic dance music.
That's interesting. For me, like when I hear this kind of music, because I feel like I'm trying to kind of like make similar music in a way, but I'm coming from like a guitar background, so
right,
it's a little different. But I feel like this kind of music is like that down tempo, but it's also like has elements of like bedroom pop in a way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It does a little bit. Sure. It has like a really hard like psytrance edge to it too. That is like kind of cool, but it's a little bit slower, and that kind of makes me think it's just like kind of like tech house or whatever. There is like a lot of cool things about this kind of music, but I can kind of tell that they don't have a whole lot of experience getting this stuff like played in the dance realm because like the kick doesn't quite hit right, and like there's like these elements there, but like I want to feel the kick with this kind of music like in my like fucking like teeth here. And
I have
stuff,
a note
you know?
about that, and I think what they didn't do is this is a kind of a technical thing, but I don't think they sidechained the kick at all.
Okay.
Which meaning where with all the frequencies you can use a compressor and sidechain to the frequency of the kick, and so whenever the kick hits, all the other instruments will dip in volume,
dip out a little bit, and that's a major trend in electronic music production, pretty much since like the mid 2000s. It was like once they realized how to get that and like really have it. I listened to this on headphones, and I just when you hear this kind of music, and I do listen to a lot of this music, especially harder dance music. And I DJ too. You can feel it in the back of your neck. You can feel it like in your like cheekbones.
Yeah, it's a physical like experience.
And I wasn't getting that.
I wasn't
getting it. And it was missing it. Otherwise, there's a really nice trance edge with the synth that he's doing here.
I thought it was really cool how like there's not really like a hook melody, but there's a bunch of them, but they all kind of like morph into each other.
Yeah,
and then you don't really realize you're listening to a different part right away.
I have a note here about hook melodies. Like. I think this kind of music needs massive hooks.
I would agree, and
you know,
I think like depending on the way you're listening to it, like you can appreciate what it's doing. But I think if you want this to be like a dance track or something, you need that
you
hook.
want to be a banger, right? Because I was like, man, I would put something like this on, but then I was listening to it and I was like, I don't even know what part I would put on it.
Exactly, I can't really like think of a part to sing, like a melody to sing.
There was a point when like a little bit into the song, I was like, okay, now we're 3 minutes in. I wanted to hear like some vocals come in.
Exactly.
Out of like, the expanse of time.
I wanted that, or like some of that like electric piano.
Oh yeah,
thing,
totally. Yeah. Something like, here we go. Let's do something wild here.
Yeah. Maybe even a drop. Could be cool.
Yeah, anything. And that I think was kind of lacking with this song, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think just overall there was just like, again, like no bass.
Yeah.
There was like bass synths and like bass lines or even bass pads, but there was actually no like bass frequencies.
Yeah, I think just the kick, I just kind of chalked it up to that.
Yeah.
Like this kind of thing, I was listening to it and I was like, I hope this gets there to a massive hook sometimes. And it really gets close. There's like a prevalent synth line or something that's really, really sticks out. And, but like thinking about it from a perspective of like even a DJ, like, I want this song to be like, you got to hear this banger, and I put it on for you and you're like, oh, hell yeah. But this song doesn't get there.
Right.
As like, it's hard to make this kind of music. I'm not really sure in what way they're doing it, but it's not the easiest thing to make.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I'm not sure if they're even trying to make like dance music.
Okay.
Even, I think like the whole like electronic kind of trend now is like maybe like at least with like indie electronic is not really like necessarily dance focused, but more like ambient focused.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, I think this is not really embedded in like the deep kind of like house community or anything.
No, I don't think so. I think this is like it's like making kind of that kind of music, but from an outsider perspective.
Yeah.
I do say I think this is someone making a genre of music that they like listen to and are just now getting into, because a lot of this like synth poppy kind of stuff, it does kind of like have a different vibe than this stuff.
Yeah. I think like a person like you who's like really into like dance music is gonna like maybe not vibe with it, but I think a person coming from like the indie scene and stuff is
world.
like is gonna it vibes with them more,
right?
And I think that's kind of what's going on.
I think you're right, and I think something that's interesting too is that like attempting to do like this kind of music, it's kind of daunting to see that like people think it's like, oh, it's real easy, it's just an uns beat and then you put some synths, but it's not. It's got a level of complexity that's really 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 cool.
It's so hard to like recreate even when I was trying to like make little ditties for our like breaks in the podcast, like I was trying to go for a certain vibe, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, even like our outro song was initially gonna try to be like a more like a hip hop thing, and I ended up making like an '80s cop theme.
Yeah, it sounds like we did an investigation. And like, well, wrap it up, and boys. Wrap up the investigation.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but that just shows you how like little I know about like certain genres and like what really like what musical elements make genres what they are.
Right. And I think when you were going through that, I was like, oh, try something like this, and you're like, oh, and then like what you sent back was way different than I thought you would do, and it was actually really good.
Yeah.
But this is commendable to do a genre that you aspire to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a nice listen, but it's just a hook or two falling short from a banger,
Totally. And yeah, but I think like the thing lacking is like the melody, like the catchy melody and like the kick.
Yeah, like songwriting basically is just a little bit lacking.
Right. And I think like they were probably scared to kind of dip into the realm of like repetitiveness. But maybe because they didn't have that like line yet.
Yeah.
And like some vocals would have been kind of like a vocal sample even would have been sick.
Yeah, it's just like a songwriting.
Yeah.
Songwriting complaints,
Yeah.
And that's nothing new. We get those kind of complaints with other music too.
Otherwise, the pads that he did make were like really cool sounding, a lot of cool like production elements, like a lot of cool panning and stuff.
I really like the psytrance edge.
Yeah,
there's a point where the synth comes in after like the 3-minute mark. The synth comes in and it comes in super nice. It comes in like just like, oh yeah, this is the big rushy part that I was waiting for, but it just was mellow. And I like where that's going, and it also kind of captures this like hollowness and emptiness that's like kind of mysterious. That was a big vibe in 2020 dance music. This was a major vibe.
And you said 2020 dance music?
2020 dance music, yeah.
Okay, so I guess like what makes 2020 dance music special from other dance music?
I haven't heard any 2021 dance music. I haven't heard anything of this year.
Okay, I was just like interested. Like, I wonder if there was like
2020 specifically. I think had a very specific vibe that was like this, like too slow psytrance.
Yeah,
and there was like a certain synth wavy. It was kind of dark wave, but it was also like, I don't know, like had like a searching vibe. It wasn't party. It wasn't shake your ass. It wasn't free your mind. It was kind of like, here we go.
I mean,
kinda
that's
like,
literally all the things we couldn't do.
Yeah, it was kind of like never-ending story, but dark is what this vibe was. I'll have to show you some tracks, but like Art Bat is one group that I think was doing some cool things last year. There was even like that, like, what's that band? Rufus Del Sol. Do you ever listen to that stuff? That stuff even has some of that vibe where it's a little bit like housey, but also trancey, but it's too slow to be psytrance, Okay. I don't know.
I love it. I love that we're learning, or at least I'm learning about so many genres. Julio made me a Witch House playlist. I really enjoyed that.
Did you like it?
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
I really dug it.
Some of that stuff on there was like, oh, like you saw where it was coming from.
Yeah, it was
okay.
like it's spooky.
Yeah, it really is. That's gonna be that was our on our
Yeah,
last
I want to.
episode.
Yeah, we should make more spooky songs.
I want to make some more electronic music in general. I'm feeling more motivated for
I love it.
music. Anything else for this?
I just want to say, like, I think like where the real treats come in with the song is like there's a lot of like little synth parts that are like, kind of like in the background, and those are the ones that I was really drawn to, because there would be like a main line going, but I was somehow drawn to kind of like the background kind of pads that were going on.
Interesting.
And I thought that was like really cool ear candy. I was like, oh, there's like this synth line, but like what about this really cool kind of like quiet arpeggiated line going on in the background? Like it's like I don't know. Though that's what caught my attention for the song, which is interesting.
It was nice. I like just wanted like to take me to the next level.
Yeah.
You know? That's like what I kept feeling like, oh, take me there, and we never got there.
Yeah. And I think maybe just again, like more sonic stuff, but like I think they maybe need to like play around more like sonic frequencies, you know, like more low ends, and maybe play around more high ends too. You know, it was all kind of setting in the same kind of frequency range.
I think the vibe is spot on, is 100% right on.
I mean, overall, I was like, this is my vibe. I love this. This is sick.
Yeah. I think I just expected a little more out of it, or hope for more. You know what I mean? Which is, I think, a good thing. That's a compliment. I think that's going to be like, honestly, people are going to read that as being like the most negative thing I can say, but it's not.
It's
like,
not.
Expecting more or wishing for more. You know what I mean?
I feel like we say that about quite a few releases. Yeah. Even stuff that we really maybe didn't like connect with, like even with like Brandino or something. Like we really like Brandino, and like, we're expecting like a lot of good things from it. But I mean, Silent Spirit sent us this, and they are also coming out with another like full length record.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to hear what comes out in the full length to see like if they've evolved the sound or if it's more the same. But I definitely another artist to pay attention to. And
they have more music out there. So this is just one of the singles they released recently and submitted.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
I thought the art concept was very cool. I think the cover art on there is a nice little tie together concept. Overall, good job on identifying the identifiable vibe of 2020, in my opinion. There it is.
Exactly. So we only have one more song left in our singles night.
Oh yeah, this is the capstone.
This one kind of came in a little late. We had an idea to do another singles one, and this one kind of slipped in just in time.
Yep.
This is also another just. I feel like they're a fan of the podcast, and we kind of like got to know them through the podcast.
I don't know if they're a fan. Or I think they are aware of us now.
Yeah.
Though. So but yeah, this is by WOOTS.
It's called Miles Ahead, and it came out April 9 of this year.
This is a very new one.
Another new one.
I want to say kudos on getting in on our schedule for the hot West Michigan singles in your area. I think this person's not from Grand Rapids, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm okay with that.
Much about WOOTS in general.
First impressions. I have written uh-oh.
Really?
The very first thing I wrote was uh-oh.
I guess like I didn't know. Okay, so more context information is that they sent us the song. The way they wanted to listen to this song was through a YouTube video, because there's so we had to watch a video to listen to the song because there was some accompanying visuals. But
did you watch it? I kind of ignored it.
It was because it was just kind of like their name.
Yeah, I had to write. I do all my notes on my phone. I couldn't do both my phone and YouTube at the same time, so I ended up actually having to handwrite these notes. So I transposed them. So right away I wrote uh-oh. Not prepared for how it started. You know?
Yeah, it's like it comes in and it comes with like the talking intro of like WOOTS.
Yeah,
Miles Ahead.
Yep, and it's kind of right away. I write white rap ? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with white rap, you know? And then I write the next thing is this is okay.
I was like, this is a vibe.
It is a vibe.
Vibe.
So if we got to sum it up, this is like R&B, you know, kind of bluesy. It starts off with a gentleman rapping of some sort.
but not for
And-
very long. Though.
Not for very long, no. And then it kind of switches to like a blues singer or something.
Yeah, or like
or the same person, but he's singing like blues, R&B,
I don't know.
big chorus.
Yeah, and I was like, I was so confused because there's rapping and then the singer comes in. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like a
Yeah.
nice voice.
It's like bluesy R&B, right?
I was like, is this also neo soul? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Kind of right. It kind of has like that
It's
dap
bluesy,
tone.
bluesy R&B, nice big
Yeah.
chorus. I write the hippies will like this.
Interesting.
Why do hippies like this kind of music? They do though, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's cool.
I don't know.
Um,
We can just like ask the question. I don't think we
yeah.
have to like find the answer.
No.
You know, I think people are maybe wondering like why we don't ever give the answer, but we don't have them.
we don't have them. We just again, all we do is ask questions and speculate.
I kind of like it, man. I kind of like the song.
Yeah, I thought it was like it's not a bad song. I think like it was interesting for us in the podcast because I think this is our first like submission from like a producer. Like I don't know if this is like
What do you mean?
I think
do
this,
you think this
I'm
is
thinking
like,
WOOTS is more like kind of like a Mark Ronson
okay?
kind of thing. Like I think maybe it was him like in the beginning being like WOOTS miles ahead, maybe the rap part, but then
Mhm.
like I think all the singing were like guests.
Do you think they're like a piano player or something?
I think they're like a composer, like producer
Okay.
kind of thing.
Do you think the rapping was him?
I think that rapping might have been him, but I think
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
And like in the overall composition and like
Sure.
music arrangement,
Uh-huh.
but I think like the vocals and maybe even the lyrics were by
Uh-huh.
someone else.
Like I kind of like it. It kind of does sound like Christian gospel music, like
Yeah.
it kind of sounds like black gospel music, like records of the 90s.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. I hear a lot of that in the neighborhood here on Sunday mornings,
Yeah.
and like it's like this like really jazzy R&B punch. It punches up, and it's like this whole vibe. It's just a whole thing.
Yeah. I kind of go back to like the comparison of like kind of Blackalicious kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's like super positive.
Yeah.
But like
It's simple.
yeah.
The song is very simple. Like it has a little bit of like fancy musicianship and has a nice statement of that, but it's very, very simple. And this is like a really like interesting like take on the simplicity, keep it simple, stupid, you
Yeah.
know?
But at the same time, like the song is kind of like all over the place.
Oh, it keeps going. But
Yeah.
at this moment in the song, I do right. This is simple. Simple is good. Nice statement. This is
Yeah.
not my thing. People will like it.
Yeah.
Is it good?
I think it's like I don't think it's a bad song.
No.
I just don't think I vibe with it.
No. Like I don't think it's that good. But are people gonna care if it's good or not? You know, I don't know because
I
of
don't know.
how like flashy and up in your face it is.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's tasty wine.
It's so good. I think there's a lot of like nice parts, but I think overall as a song, like it just like it goes kind of all over the place. And I was
Mhm.
just like, where, like there are hooks in it, but like there's no like hook.
Yeah, there's no
You know?
major one. But this is simple. It has like this epic feel. Like
Yeah.
it kind of progressive, right? It keeps going,
Yeah.
going. Has this epic feel. But this music does not give me anxiety in the way that like some of the other kind of proggy stuff
Yeah.
we've had, or like even some jam bands like
Right.
my buddy Josiah like likes this band Goose, and they just give me anxiety when I hear them. Like I don't like it. It just like even like Animal Collective kind of gives me anxiety.
Same.
And
They're
like,
kind of scary to me.
but this band, yeah, me too. This band doesn't give me that kind of anxiety though.
No, I think it's more just kind of like man, maybe is this Christian?
I wonder. I have. Is this a Christian band?
Yeah, maybe it's a Christian band.
Yeah. Is it that? Is that what that soothes your anxiety if you have if you're a Christian band?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any problems with Christian bands. Just like, just own it,
But like it's cohesive. Like
It
even
is.
though this is like all over the place, it's all over the place in a cohesive way.
Yeah.
It's even kind of exciting in the turns it's taking.
In that
you know?
way, but at the same time, I almost kind of felt like the same thing with like Jake Simmons, where it's kind of like they're hitting kind of like they're checking off all the certain things. Like,
yeah.
the beat with the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And, it's just like very on the
Yeah.
nose and some of the
It's definitely
tropes.
not. It's definitely not our kind of music.
And I don't think it's
You know.
like groundbreaking in any way.
No. I do think, though, it's really, really interesting, taking interesting turns, and it's kind of keeping the listener in mind. That's one thing that I noticed with this is that it's really like kind of like expecting us to enjoy it on a level that it's like aware of us. It's aware we're listening to it.
Yeah.
And I've been noticing some music these days is like some takes better care of the listener than others.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think it's so easy, like as a musician, to kind of like get caught up in your own thing. And you're like, is this even like listenable?
Yeah. Is it even for anybody else to listen to? Yeah. And I think this music, this WOOTS stuff, for better or worse, is keeping me in mind as a listener, as being like, here we go, we're going on a journey.
I was
Ready?
pretty engaged the whole time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I did not know what to expect. I expected, like, this was definitely one where I was like, all right, I'm probably in for something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I definitely had a feeling I was in store for a thing.
Yeah, I think maybe just based off our interactions with WOOTS online, just through the chat and stuff, I was like, this is probably a person who like doesn't vibe with our music tastes just in general, and that's okay.
No, I don't. I think, but I'm totally willing to talk about this on like on a level that is interesting, hopefully to everybody involved.
Yeah,
I think the songwriting is much stronger than I maybe thought at first. Like as I was listening to it, I was like, you know what? There's actually some interesting songwriting.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the vocals. I thought they were like great singers.
Yeah, sort of all over the place, huh?
It is all over the place though.
But it's interesting, and
it's like
kind of
proggy.
Yeah, it makes me like interested to see what they're gonna do next.
Yeah, I think they're putting out. This is like from a record they're putting out later this year.
Okay,
so I'm curious to see what else sounds they come up with, and maybe my like theory of like they're kind of like a Mark Ronson will be like fulfilled more or not.
Yeah, hopefully it's more varied stuff. It probably is. Maybe this is like the middle of the road. Here's the single that is like actually not the best song, but it's the most middle of the road to get everybody into me.
Yeah. And
I do have, the last thing I have is like, I'll definitely check out what's in store for us next.
Exactly.
Cool.
That's really all I have about that one, though.
Same.
Okay, so let's do some quick ratings here.
Quick ratings. Our first single we listened to was Birdie Country. It was a 2-song record. My rating is, where is it? You know when you like, if you ever work a thing in the afternoon or have a thing to do in the afternoon, that like 10-minute nap you take sitting up before you have to go?
Yeah.
The pre-work nap.
Gotcha. My rating is Falafel.
Falafel. Love it. Yeah. Okay, the next one here is Jake Simmons' song. And my rating is Self-Checkout.
My rating is PBR on the dock.
PBR on the dock? I wrote these down. Did you write yours down in advance?
No.
Oh, man. So I'm going to have to go to I'll give you time to think about this next one. This next one is Silent Spirit's song, Intentions. And I have a rating here. And my rating is a fresh stack of printer paper right out of the package.
Ooh.
The big, it's not a ream, is it?
You got me. Yeah, it is a ream.
Okay, a big ream.
You got me like a half mass with that one.
Ooh, yeah.
My rating is Egyptian cotton.
Ooh, yeah. This is a good fibrous. It's a fibrous one.
Yeah, fibrous.
So, and our final review of the night was WOOTS. What was the name of the song again?
Miles Ahead.
Miles Ahead. This is from the probably going to be an upcoming another record that is coming out. I think it's going to be on there, probably.
Yeah.
And I have a rating here of Haggling with a Flea Market Vendor.
I'm going to go with Ice Cream Truck on a Hot Day.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Dan, this has been a really interesting experience.
Do we want to talk about if they got there?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's go right away. Let's go right down the middle. Birdie Country. Did they get there? Definitely.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting sound that I think a lot of people will like. If you like emo, if you like kind of country-ish,
like
folky,
if you like Wilco, I think you'll like it.
Yeah, any of the indie rock that kind of came out between like 2004 and now.
If Bright Eyes and Wilco had a baby, this is Birdie Country.
Yeah, with a little bit of dancey edge.
Yeah.
They did to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Simmons, did they get there?
I say no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think that this track, I don't find a time I'm going to listen to this again. Yeah. But I do think that there are some good things about it. I don't know if they got there. It seems a little bit off. Missed the mark a little bit.
Silent Spirits.
Silent Spirit. Partial credit.
I'm gonna say they got there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think just that. I think this makes sense just coming from like our background in like electronic music.
You probably expected me to be picky about this one.
Yeah, I think like I was expecting. I think everything that you've kind of like said like makes sense to like what I was anticipating.
You were probably like, oh, this is actually more up his alley, but he's probably going to be more critical of it because of it. Yeah. So partial credit on this one. WOOTS. I think WOOTS got there.
I think WOOTS got there too.
This is a very interesting what
I'm curious to hear what they're gonna come out with next.
Kind of proggy R&B blues inspired. There's some guest vocals on here, some female guest vocals. Did we get any personnel on that? Did you notice?
Let me take a moment to look it up.
There was also a saxophone solo on there too.
No, there wasn't because it was on YouTube and I didn't see.
Oh, and I didn't watch the video. I think there might have been credits on the video.
I didn't see. I don't recall any.
So WOOTS, apologies that we didn't name your personnel, but we'll be sure to credit them at some point.
Yeah, I think just like a last comment on WOOTS, like I think what I would like to see, not like this matters to them at all, but like I think like if they're gonna kind of like go into like all over the place, like lean into it and just get crazier.
Yeah,
definitely. Get proggier.
Definitely. And it's so funny because I love that we like give advice to like. They spent months and months and months on it, and we're like, here's what you got to do. Scrap that.
We give so much unsolicited advice.
Just scrap all that, and then you just do whatever you got to do. No problem.
And here's the problem is, like, I know that, like, don't take our advice, but at the same time, like, in my mind, I'm like, you should probably take our advice.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I'm so, like, confident about it.
We're trying to build a rapport as being people that know what they're talking about. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I really hope someday someone will take us up on like letting us produce the record.
Yeah,
because I think like it would be so fun. Like, because I would want us to like only wear suits.
We'll both like go bald from the experience. We'll have like no hair after the whole thing.
I'll be like fucking Phil Spector and just wear like a 3-piece suit the whole time, even if it's like 90 degrees out, and just be all coked up.
This wine at the end, I'm getting like so many different flavors now at the end of it.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Let's do a quick wine, a quick wine. Let's do a cheers and tell me what you smell.
I definitely get that barrel.
Yeah, barrel oaky.
Oaky.
Sure. It's the tiniest bit of like barnyard, but not in like a really, really heavy way, you know. And that's probably the natural fermentation. This is a very fruity, very sour thing. Yeah, it's like, very nice.
But it's not citrusy though, which I like.
This actually got better. I was worried about it warming up. You know, it actually got better as it sat here.
Yeah. You get more of the flavors.
We can give Cassie a bit too, and Cassie's going to be doing our intro. Has been doing our intro.
Yeah, shout out to Cassie for being a creative consultant.
Yeah, this has been fun. Anything else that you want to say, man? I'm cool with keeping it short and sweet.
Let's do some quick housekeeping here.
Okay.
We are still accepting submissions for music, so please drop us a submission at bandscamps@gmail.com, or if you just have any questions, concerns, bewilderments, or accolades, let us know too. We just got a really nice email from a listener the other day.
Yeah, that was so nice.
It really made my day.
Yeah, thanks so much for writing us. Yeah, that was cool.
That was super sick. You know, like it's not beyond us to be like, you know, like when people give us compliments to
I love it. I'm all about it.
It means a lot, and like we put a lot of hard work into this. And so, thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to feel appreciated. Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want to appreciate us even more, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/bandscamps. Any amount helps us at all.
Yeah,
you know, it says, you know, like $3, but like really any amount that you can help contribute to us, like, really makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, with these kind of contributions, it takes care of our hosting. We can buy new gear. We got these microphones. And we did pay for these partially with your contribution. So thank you so much, everyone. And we're just gonna do more and more. We're here at Fancy Recording Studio. This has been a whole affair.
Yeah, whole affair.
A long tape, and I haven't hung out with anybody in almost a year. A year and a long. That's great.
I can say from personal experience now, May the cat is doing great.
Yeah.
She has been.
She came in here
friendly.
once. Did you see her? She
I
came,
did not.
She came in here one time and walked away. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
She's been. She's just lovely.
Yeah.
She's a little scampy, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these mics sound good.
Yeah.
I think I need some brand new cables.
Yeah, I need some new cables.
And then we'll be in the clear. This all looks good. We got our scenes.
Yes. Thank you again to Tom Hunt for our intro song. Thank you to all of you who listen, like, subscribe. We did our first TikTok the other day. I think we're gonna do another one tonight, maybe.
Oh yeah, we got to do one before we go.
Yeah, we might be nude. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't even matter because you're gonna hear this weeks later.
Yeah.
So
that's true. This is fun.
Yeah, this is fun. Bandscamps _ for Instagram. We're on Facebook.
We're everywhere.
We're
all
everywhere.
over the place.
All our live streams and episodes are on YouTube now.
Yep.
So, man, we have so much fucking shit.
We have hours.
It's insane.
Hours.
So, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Julio, I love you, dude.
Love you too, man.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Listener, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This has been a Grand Rhapsody production. Executive produced by Dan Fisher and Julio Gomez.